The Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 is the best Android tablet. It has glass on the front and back and metal on the sides. It also has a front fingerprint sensor. It is smaller than most of the other tablets at only 9.7 inches. It has a 1536 by 2048 display with Super AMOLED technology, and it also has HDR built in. The camera is a 13 megapixel camera, which is high resolution for a tablet. It also has a wide f1.9 aperture and is capable of recording 4K video. The front-facing camera is 5 megapixels. It has the Snapdragon 820 and 4 gigabytes of RAM, so it isn't as fast as most of the other tablets, and it also doesn't have as long battery life. It only has around 6-hour battery life, but it is cheaper at only $600 with the S Pen included in the price. The Google Pixelbook is more of a laptop. It runs Chrome OS. It runs Android apps, some Chrome OS apps, but mostly just Android apps. It is a convertible 2-in-1, so it has the keyboard attached and it folds back 360 degrees to be used as a tablet. That makes it thicker and heavier in tablet mode. The Pixelbook has glass and metal on the back. The display is 1600 by 2400 IPS display. It is powered by up to the Intel Core i7 Y series with up to 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. It has 8-hour battery life and the speakers are built into the hinges. The Surface Pro 4 is an older tablet. It runs a full desktop operating system, Windows 10 Pro. It is made out of magnesium alloy, and it also has a built-in kickstand. The keyboard is sold separately. The Surface Pen should come with it, although it may not when buying it used. The Surface Pro 4 has an 1832 by 2748 display, which is capable of the whole DCI-P3 color gamut and high levels of brightness. It is better than most other tablet displays. It also has to the Intel Core i7 Y series 6th generation and 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. The battery life is only around 6 hours, but it does have better speakers than most tablets. The Galaxy Book 12 is Samsung's high-end Windows tablet. It runs Windows 10. It has a thinner and lighter design than most other Windows tablets. It has a kickstand, although it is built into the keyboard instead of into the tablet. The display is a 1440 by 2160, but it does use Super AMOLED technology and have HDR built in. The camera is also the same one as on the Tab S3, which is better than most other tablets. It comes with the Intel Core i7 Y series, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and 256 or 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. It doesn't get as fast as the ones with an Intel Core i7. It has 6-hour battery life like the Tab S3, and it also has dual speakers. The Lenovo Mix 720 also has a built-in kickstand similar to the Surface Pro. It also runs Windows 10. It has a higher resolution 1920 by 2880 display, and it is also powered by up to an Intel Core i7 U series processor. It has around 7-hour battery life, and it has a built-in IR camera for Windows Hello. The EV is another direct competitor to the Surface Pro. It is the same price on the base model, but it comes with both the keyboard and the pen. On the higher end models, it is cheaper, but still comes with the keyboard and pen. It has a kickstand built in. The display is 1920 by 2880. It has up to an Intel Core i7 Y series processor with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has 8-hour battery life and quad speakers. There is also a fingerprint sensor built into the power button on the side. The iPad Pro is another tablet from 2015. It comes in both a 9.7 inch size and a 12.9 inch screen size. The 9.7 inch model has a 1536 by 2048 resolution, and the bigger model has 2048 by 2732. The iPad Pro comes with a 12 megapixel camera capable of 4K video recording and an f2.2 aperture. It also has a 5 megapixel front facing camera. It has the Apple A9X, which isn't as fast as some of the other chips. The bigger model has 4 gigabytes of RAM, but the smaller model actually only has 2 gigabytes of RAM. It also has 10-hour battery life and quad speakers. The 2017 Surface Pro also does have the faster 7th generation Intel processors, and it also has 9-hour battery life. The Surface Book 2 is more expensive and bigger than any of these other tablets. It comes in either 13 inches or 15 inches. It is more of a laptop than a tablet. The display is 2000 by 3000 on the 13-inch model and 2160 by 3240 on the 15-inch model. It has a higher contrast ratio than the Surface Pro. It has the Intel Core i7 8th generation U series with 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD, GTX 1060 built into the keyboard. When it is attached to the keyboard, the Surface Book 2 has very long battery life, longer than any of these other tablets, but when it is in tablet mode, it only has around 3-hour battery life. There is facial recognition built into the camera. The 2017 iPad Pro comes in 10.5 inches and 12.9 inches. Both sizes have very high screen-to-body ratios for tablets. The 10.5 inch has a display resolution of 1668 by 2224, and the 12.9 inch has a screen resolution of 2048 by 2732. Both of them support the full DCI-P3 color gamut, up to 600 nits of brightness, and they also have a 120 Hz refresh rate. The iPad Pro has the best camera on any tablet with an f1.8 aperture and 12 megapixel resolution, and the front-facing camera is 7 megapixels. It has the Apple A10X processor. It is as fast as some of the Intel Core i7 tablets that run Windows. It also has 10-hour battery life and quad speakers.